Learning is Nishmas Etta Ahuva bas Yaakov. Mesechet Kesubos Perek Yud Beis Mishna Gimel. Almana she'omra ifshi lozes mi beis baili. An almana that says, I don't want to leave my husband's house. Ein hayarshin yichir and leimela. The yarshin are not allowed to tell her l'chi lebeis avicha. Since our father, your husband, died, so go back to your father's house. Va'ani zanin oischa. Even though we have a chi of mezainis, you will feed you over there. They're not allowed to say that, because not only do they have a chi of mezainis, they also have a chi to provide her the house. Elazanin oischa bebeis baila. They have to feed her in her husband's house. She remains in that house. V'noisin lo medar lefi chvayda. And they allow her to live kefi her covet. The Gemara says that she lives in this house the same way she lived b'chaye baila. Ba'avodim u'shvachas, the same way she had b'karm u'ksasis, the same pillows and covers, b'kli kesef b'kli zav, the same kli kesef and kli zav. And the reason is because her husband had written to her in a ksuva. Every ksuva says va'at heyasu b'beisi u'mizanim min echasai kol yimei meiger amaloisayich. So it says at heyasu b'beisi. The Mishnah continues, Amra ifshi lozaz mi beis abba. Let's say the opposite. She says that I want to go to my father's house. Then Yichel Hayarshin Loimerla, the Yarshin are allowed to insist that she remain with them. Im atat leinu yesh lecha mezainis. If you stay over here, we will give you mezainis. Vim ein atat leinu ein lecha mezainis. And the reason is, the Gemara says that you see from here that birchas habayis miruba, that if you have more people living in a house, Rashi explains, when you have people in the house, they help each other, and through that way more gets done. And also mazel the rabbim odif. Taisa says, just push it, because ner la'echa, ner la'mei. If she was living in another house, they would have to have a candle for this house and a candle for that house. But now that she's living here, one candle will suffice for everyone. The Mishnah ends off, let's say she says, I don't want to live with you because I'm still young. And the case was that these children were from a different marriage. They were also young. So she doesn't want to live because it's a shemra that people are going to say that why is she living together with them? So then that's a good taina, and zanin oisa v'hi bebeis. Then she's allowed to move back to her father's house, and they would have to support her over there. Mishnah Dalid, kol zman shehi bebeis avia goyve kesubos la'olam. As long as she's in her father's house, she could collect her ksuva forever. There's no time limit. Mashein kein kol zman shehi bebeis baila. But if she was living in her husband's house, then there's a time limit. She only has 25 years to collect her ksuva. If after 25 years she says she didn't say anything about the ksuva and she doesn't collect it, then she loses her rights. Why? Because we say while she was living over here with the children, with the Yisaimim, she was slowly taking some of the Yisaimim's lechem umelech and giving it to her neighbors. And slowly but slowly it led up to reach the amount of ksuva that she was owed. So she basically already collected her ksuva after 25 years. Divir Rameir Shamar Mishum Reb Shimon Gamliel. The Chachamim argue. So it's interesting that both Tanaim in this Mishnah, the Tanakama and the Chachamim, both hold after 25 years you lose a ksuva. Just the first Tana we just said holds that that's tafka bebeis baila and not bebeis avia. And the Chachamim argue exactly the opposite. Kozman she bebeis baila. If she's in her husband's house, then goyve ksuvas aloil, and then there's no time limit. She could collect her ksuva forever. Mashenkin kozman she bebeis avia. But if she moves back to her father's house, then goyve ksuvas ad eser mechami shanim. Then we say after 25 years, if she didn't mention anything about the ksuva, then she's moichelet. So what's the difference if she's living with her husband's house? Because if she's living with the Yisayim, then we say that they're giving her covet all these years, and they're respecting her, and she's living with them, so she's embarrassed to go ahead and to be Tavea the Ksuva. So that's why she didn't ask it. But if she's in her father's house and she's not with them, why didn't she ask for the Ksuva? Must be she was Meichelet. In the Gemara, there's two machlekes, and one machlekes is this tafka if she's not holding on to a star ksuva, but if she's holding on to a star ksuva, then there's no mechila. And the other machlekes in Amiram in the Gemara is this only legabe the mana masayim, or even legabe the taisefes do we say that she's meichel? The Mishnah ends off, Mesa, when she dies, Yarsheha matzkirin ksuvasa ad esem v'chamishanim. The Yarshim have the same halacha, they have to be teveya the ksuva within 25 years. If not, we say that it was meichel. The Tiferes Yisrael speaks out, if within 25 years they do mention a Tviyas Ksuva and they don't wind up being Tevei the Ksuva, they just say they're not Moichel, then you have another 25 years from that. So you could just every 25 years mention it. And then you'll be able to collect the Ksuva.